So, welcome back to another show. Tonight, I'm John. I've got my guest on with us tonight. He's a West Ham fan and super fan, and it's James. James, how are you doing, mate?
Buzzing, mate. Fourth in the league. Unbelievable. I can't believe it myself as a West
Oh,
Ham fan.
wow.
But all good, mate. All good.
Good for you. Good for you. So, guys, if you've got any questions you'd like to ask James about West Ham and the season so far, and if you just please subscribe, please stick a like on the video and subscribe to my channel if you are new. Also follow GMs on Twitter, as you can see, Fatboy16. Have you got a YouTube channel at all, mate? Got a YouTube channel?
I do things on Hammers polls. I do a couple of talk shows on there, interaction shows for fans. I try and get other fans on and all that. So if you follow me on Twitter, you'll find it. Do you know what I mean? You'll see the stuff on there. Yeah.
Great stuff, great stuff. Yeah, I mean, thanks so much for coming on, and thanks for letting us know. Now we're going to talk about your team because we've got to play yous on Saturday at St James's Park, 12 kickoff, and it seems that West Ham. I can't remember the last time you beaten us, but it's been a very long time, and I can't remember when you beat us last. Any idea when it's that?
I think it was a couple of years ago when we won up there 3-0 and Anderson scored. I remember but other than that, John, we don't win at your gaff, mate. We don't win at your place at all. It's just we just never win there. It's just like, and as a West Ham fan, I'm not deluded to think we're going to go up there, even though Newcastle ain't been playing great. They still know how to beat us home and away. So it's it's just one of them places, mate. Like we've all got them. Every team's got it. Like they go to a ground and they know it just ain't going to be their day, sort of thing. So sure. It's just we just don't win up there, mate.
That's the thing. Let's always start the kiss on Saturday. You know what I mean? But I still want to get into the top four because I think you fans deserve it. You got a fantastic stadium. I'm not sure about your owners, but listen, at the end of the day, some good players there. But you're missing key players. Declan Rice is missing. Antonio's missing. I think you're missing someone else as well.
Cresswell's missing. He got injured last game. The injuries are starting to mount up a little bit, and they're starting to sort of come right at the wrong time. The only thing I will say on that is that the people who are coming in are stepping up. Like people like the Mark Nobles, and as a West Ham fan, like every West Ham fan loves Mark Noble, but in the league at the minute, it's a bit like when you got Declan Rice in there, who's like arguably one of the best defensive midfield players in the Premier League. It's a bit of a worry, but we're getting around it. That's the only thing.
Sure. I mean, you haven't got a big squad in a minute, haven't you? So West Ham, and that's what you really need. I mean, if you do get in Champions League, that's where you're going to need to step up. You need to get about 4 or 5 players in to have a real strong squad. Who are you after in the summer? I don't know. It could be a couple of surprises in your team, sort of thing. You got the stadium, you got a good fan base. You know what I mean? But I mean, what
it is though, John. What it is, we've got the stadium, mate, but we ain't got the owners. And both me and you can relate to owners. Do you know what I mean? As fans of both clubs, our owners are horrendous as much as yours are, and basically it's okay having the stadium, but if you've got owners who just don't like to spend, then it's always going to be a problem, mate.
Absolutely. Totally agree. You have to have the money. If you don't spend the money, you don't back your manager, you have problems in the long run. That's exactly what happened with Rafa Benitez. We allowed him to walk away. I mean, they said off the new contract, I don't believe that for a second. They did it off and out. They knew that he's going to upset Ashton and stuff like that. And they just allowed him to walk away quietly, and they got in Steve Bruce as manager, sort of thing, which I'll come on to later on. Yeah, you got like I say, you got some decent players there. You winning some good games. I think just Lingard has made a difference for your team. What can I say?
Mate. Unbelievable. If I'm honest, and I'll be openly honest here right now, I thought it was a bad signing, mate. I thought he was coming to us just to sort of just be a bit part player, but he's come to the club, he's embraced the club, he's loving it really, and the loan system works when players are hungry to play football. Do you know what I mean? If a player's hungry to play football, they will go to places and they will put in a shift. And yeah, he's been first class, mate. He scored 8 goals in 9 games and 3 assists, which to me, that's like that ratio. If that finishes up at the end of the season, he's going to get over 15, 16 goals. And he only signed at the end of January. So,
yeah, I'll tell you what, he's been a revolution at your club. He ain't the only one, man. You got Declan Rice's step a lot. I know a lot of people are saying that it's overrated. I'm not going to lie. I do think he's overrated. But the more games I've seen of him, the better he gets. I really do like Declan Rice. And got Souček as well. I think he's fantastic. I mean, he got in the air and with those free kicks, great set piece when the ball comes to him. You got Kufal as well, and you also got Clay Dawson as well. So you got those 4 key players at your club, and I mean that Souček, I think he's a decent player.
Yeah, he is, mate. I'll start off with Rice. What you said about Rice. Obviously, when people don't see Rice like every week like we do, it's hard to sort of assess a player over X amount of games, but what Declan does, he does all the right things very, very well. Like, do you know what I mean? He tackles very well. And the only thing he don't do is he don't score goals. But in a way, he makes up for it for his box-to-box play, his energy, his tackling. His reading of the game is excellent. Like, he reads the game very well. And, he's first class, mate. And I can't praise him enough. Souček, he's been a revelation, mate. We signed him from Slavia Prague for 16 million, I think it was. And I think every West Ham fan went, "Who is this man coming in the door?" Do you know what I mean? We had no idea. But he's been top draw, mate. He's I'll be honest with you, he's been like a shining light. He's a threat from everywhere, like from free kicks, corners, even in a way that he gets in the box late. And he does it very well. He sort of holds his run and then he checks his run and then he gets into the box right at the last minute. And he's been first class.
Yes, indeed. I mean, I do rate him. I think he's been a revolution as well for your team as well. And it cost 60 million quid. They could do with him now for Slavia. Prague is doing at the moment in time.
Yeah, I know. The West Ham B team, that is.
Yeah. It is, man. It is. You feed that club. Yeah. I think you two must decide contract something, you take their best player, something they can take your reserves, you know what I mean? Just to get experience. Yeah, they're lovely. If I'm living them, I can go out drinking after the game, but there you can. But I remember a young Declan Rice, his first game was against us when he gave the ball away. And that's how he made his name. He gave the ball away. And Goss used the first goal. And I can remember that very well. I mean, he went past to the keeper, got it all wrong, and then we scored from that. And he very nearly got back in on the ball again. But I can remember that very, very well. And I mean, but I think you got a good team now. I mean, David Moyes, I mean, I'll go through these comments quickly and I'll get this out because I've quite a few. I've got Ian John, hope you're well. And I've got a question from Paul James. Who's your favourite West Ham player of all time?
Di Canio, mate. Paolo, top class, absolute. He was mad, but he was a maverick. Like every club's got that sort of icon player. And Di Canio was first class, mate.
Yeah, I totally agree. He's a decent player. Him, Nolan as well. Had him on that list as well. You got all the old ones. You got Billy Barnes. You got Alan Devonshire.
I would say one who's sort of up to date latest is probably Payet. In the final season at Upton Park, I thought he was just world class, like a world class player we had out in our ranks. Do you know what I mean? But Di Canio for me, mate.
Fair enough. I'll choose Di Canio all day long because his attitude's spot on. Yeah, he's mad, but his attitude's spot on. Had read really well. I see Monkey Ian and John, and he said 2018. Yeah, that's when he beat us, like you said. I've got Paul James. Would you take John Joe Shelby? West Ham fan.
I think what it is, what we're doing, what we're trying to do is build a team, but have it young. And I think John Joe's coming to sort of the end of his career. It's like 28, 29 now, isn't it? Like, I think what it is, as we all know, the Premier League's getting faster now, and you need younger players, more energetic and more like
Mhm.
ready for games. And yeah, John Joe's a good player, but it's I don't see where he would fit in the team, especially with Souček and Rice. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I see what you mean. For me, even not getting that West Ham team, there's absolutely nowhere, not the way you're at the minute. And for me, I'll give it John Joe shove at the end of the season. For me, I just don't think he's good enough for us anymore. His legs is gone, getting slower. He's let the other players runs around for him. He doesn't lead the team. And for me, I just think he's lazy. When the going gets tough, it just doesn't look interested at all. And for me, I just don't think he's good enough for Newcastle United anymore. I really don't. I got Trey and Son. This game to me is 50-50 game. Depends on how we contain Lingard and Souček against how West Ham can contain ASM, Wilson and Almiron. Rice is the best CDM in the league, and it's going to be a huge miss for you guys.
He is, mate. He is going to be a huge miss, but the last 2 games we've managed to get round it with him not being there. The Lingard thing is, like if we keep Lingard fit, we've got a chance. That's our attitude as West Ham fans at the minute. I think we're getting round it with players because we're getting players who are injured coming back, and we've got the injured players who are injured and just can't play. So, Souček and Lingard are the ones who are going to have to step up, along with like Jared Bowen, who the last 3 games has been very, very good.
Jared Bowen, I do rate him as well. I think he's a top quality player. Him on his day, he's got a lovely left foot. So we was after him as well, Newcastle, and we was never, ever, ever going to get that guy. There's no way. I mean, he don't want to spend the money, and he doesn't care. He's rather than one player I'm going to mention in a minute. So I got Trians on the game. Savia playing that game and do really well. Strange how his career has gone here. I mean, Savia, I don't know if you heard of how many Savia. I mean, he came to us, £5.5 million for Bordeaux. He's had a couple of loan players, teams as well. And he's nowhere to be seen. And he's out of contract at the end of the season. But I just think for me, it's just one of those other places milking the system sort of thing. That he's on 50 grand a week. He's just milking it. And it's a shame. He's got the talent, but he's just can't be bothered to move to another club. He just says, you know what, I'm going to be comfortable here and just take the 50 grand a week.
I think what it is, I think some of them are especially the players in this generation, are very stubborn. They will sit there, and I think you've got to give Lingard a bit of credit on that. I know he's playing for us and he's playing really well, but he didn't want to sit there in Old Trafford and not play a game. Like, he wanted to go out and play. So, you know what I mean, them players who sit there and just take the money, they're not worth it, really.
God, no, I totally agree. I just think it's all about most estate agents just telling to sit tight, sort of thing. You know what I mean? Just wait. He's in running contract. We had that as well with Danny Simpson, which I can understand why. We have players like who's that player we had? Jack Corback as well, and just crazy, man. On money, Mike Owen on £120,000 a week. Couldn't be bothered to move to another club. You want to milk the system, so you want the menu on a free. Mike Owen, the less said about that guy, the better. Let's be real about it. I've got Trian Sancho. Booking was a fantastic player. He was indeed.
Yeah.
Paul said he's got a question for you. Paul, hey James, you can take your little on the free.
No, mate. We can't. We can't, mate. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Paul, but we can't, mate. Honestly.
No. I knew someone would cover that question. Do you know what I mean? He's terrible, isn't he?
But, do you know what? I don't. When he first arrived at Newcastle, he looked right, and he just went. It just like the first sort of like. Obviously, I don't watch him all the time, but the games I was looking at when he first arrived at the club, he looked pretty okay. Do you know what I mean? Pretty decent for the league, big built and solid. And but then, I know, I know it's gone downhill a bit rapid. And for the fee, I think what it is, I think the fee is the problem. If he was a £5 million, £10 million player, I think every Newcastle fan would go, you know what, he's that money, and that's what you're going to get. But the money you paid for him and what he's producing doesn't match up, if it makes sense. So, yeah.
James, all it is, right? I mean, Mike Ashley wanted this player. Rafa Benitez said, ain't worth the money. Just go for Rondon. Pay the £60 million for Rondon. And forget about Jordan, right? He ain't
Yeah.
worth that money. I actually didn't listen to him. And Rafa Watt, for that reason, that's one of the reasons why he didn't want to be at Newcastle. So actually just still paying the money. Steve Bruce came in and said, this player is going to get fans off our seats. That's all I was told. And I just had to laugh because Steve Bruce knew not about the signing at all whatsoever. So, and I just thought, you know what, I'll give the guy a chance. And for me, 4 goals in 63 league games. It's not good enough. Not for 40 million.
It's not, mate. It's not. It's not really. Like not when you can look at Souček, for instance, John, and go, Souček is a defensive midfield player and he scored 9. See what I'm saying? So yeah.
That just sums it up, doesn't it? It really sums it up. It's down to good coaching, good scouting. Our scouting is an absolute joke. Whoever decided to pay a £40 million or advice, like £40 million should be sacked or should be arrested or charged for fraud or deception. Let's be real about it. Do you know what I mean? Sorry about that. It's Steve Nixon battle here, but it's nowhere to be seen. And I've got the 2 monkey again, James, as I sided in. General thoughts on Bruce?
He's not good enough for Newcastle. Newcastle are a big club. Big club. They've always been a big club, and they've got to start acting like a big club. And I think what it is, Bruce, from an outsider, I look at him and I think he's a bit of a yes man. He does as he's told, and he's. Let's be honest, where would Bruce go and get a Premier League job anywhere else? He wouldn't. I don't believe. And I think Newcastle should be batting a bit higher up in regards to a manager. And I think the owners don't help the situation because they've got a man there who they know he'll do as he's told because he should be privileged to be in the Premier League with a big club like Newcastle. So do I look at Bruce as I just don't think he's good enough for you, mate, if I'm honest. And I think if you do survive this season, which I think you will do now, I think you will just get away with it. He has to go and you have to start going a bit higher or going with someone who's a bit more modern day. Like I look at Moyes, for instance. Like Moyes is at the club. He's trying to build something with the club. I don't see that with Bruce. I see a man there who's just plodding along, if that makes sense, and just going through the motions. And it's not how Newcastle should be. You got teams like Crystal Palace who are above Newcastle and teams like that. And Newcastle are a big club. And like I remember Newcastle, as I said to you before, John, like with Asprilla and Gillina and fighting for leagues and in Europe and things like that. So to me, Bruce has to go and they have to start looking up rather than down, because you know what it's like if you go down, it just ruins the atmosphere of the club. It doesn't feel the same. Match days, when you go to it, you want to be Premier League basically, and it's all about the Premier League. And I think if you keep Bruce any longer, you won't be in the Premier League for much longer, if that makes sense.
Totally agree, and we'll not get back up ever again. As last year's there, but my worry is as well. We get relegated, they're going to keep Bruce no matter what. 3 wins in 23, 3 wins in 23, sums it up, and that's not good enough for Newcastle United. We'll be in the league. I've got comment to boost in a minute. I'll read this comment out quickly. If I've missed any of your comments, I do apologise. And please smash the likes up, subscribe if you are new to my channel. And I got Trias on the game. What's your first name, mate? And then I'll just call it your first name. Do you miss Upton Park, James? Great addition, ground for atmosphere. Do you know what I do?
Yeah, I do, mate. I loved Upton Park. It was traditional. It was like a football ground, so to speak. And I think the way the football's going now is very corporate. It's very sort of American, and like it's a big ground and all the fancy stuff. And yeah, I do miss it, mate. I do. And the thing is, as I go back to the owners, right? The owners promised us a lot, and they delivered nothing. And that's the issue where a lot of fans have got with the owners. If the owners would have followed through with their promises, then we might not have been so critical of them. But they haven't. And like we're over at Stratford, it's a lovely ground, mind, but it just doesn't feel like home to us.
Fair enough. I mean, it's just West Ham United London by the sounds of it. Do you know what I mean? even not West Ham United, you know what I mean? But I've got Kevin on the chat. Kevin's the first time we chat. Please subscribe to us, my friend. Right, lads, just jumped on. Thanks for coming on. Welcome anytime. Ashley and the Julian saga was Ashley's pumping his chest out. And the two things I saluted Rafa, exactly my point, Kev. Rafa said he wasn't worth the money. I've said that. Sure enough, he was right. Rafa Benitez is right, by the way, exactly what I've been saying about 5 minutes ago. And I've got Billy again. Thanks for telling us, Billy. We scouted off FIFA 19. Both ASM and Julian were both future star cards. That's class. Well done, baby. Well done. And I got Paul again. Trey, you couldn't sell Brazilian sausages as blind butchers. I made it up. And I got Kevin again, Hammer's chat from James, this name, by the way. You may have covered this, but what are your shoot against Moores? Firstly, when he was got rid of the first time, and secondly, what do you think now? What was he like before to now?
I think what it was with Moyes the first time, he was looking for a job, and we gave him a short-term deal. I think he was only on something like £10,000 a week, John, if I'm honest. If I remember rightly, if I get my figures right, he was about 10 grand a week he was on to keep us in the league, because no one would touch him, not after like Sociedad and Sunderland and everything else that he had done. No one would touch Moyes. They was like, you know what, he's not good enough, so to speak. But we had a go. The way he was treated was wrong by the owners, and yet again, it goes back to the owners again. But he's come in again. He's starting to stamp his card now, Moyes. He wants it his way. And I'll be honest with you, I think if Moyes could walk away from West Ham in the summer and go and find another job quite easily now, whereas he couldn't do that before. He had to build, he had to rebuild again, so to speak. He had to build his reputation up and everything. So yeah, he's been a breath of fresh air, Moyes. I don't always agree with what he's done this season. He's done some mad things this season that's gone completely wrong. But all the right stuff he's done well. So yeah, he's doing all right for us.
Yeah, I mean, the fact is, sort of thing, we don't have great British managers in the Premier League. I mean, you got Moyes, Bruce, you got Dyche, and one or two others as well, if you see what I mean. But you're right. I mean, what he's done, he rebuilt his career, he's turned it around, he's turned his career around, and was he 56, 57? He's still quite young for me. And, he could, do a couple of years of sort of thing, getting in Champions League, and then hopefully build on from that. And, just got to be worried that top clubs are not coming after your best players like Declan and Souček and Kufal and players like that.
I think what it is, John, I think with COVID, what's happened with COVID and everything, I don't think the money is there to go out and pay that large fee now. Like not for at least another year, I don't believe. So I can see Declan being here for another year, maybe another 18 months, might possibly be 2 years. If we get Champions League, then I don't think he goes anywhere, if I'm honest, because he ain't got to go anywhere. But it's one of them ones at the minute. It's just sort of like, I think with COVID and with everything being so low in value, no one's got any money. And I think what it is with West Ham, he values a higher fee, and I just don't think no one could come in from it at present.
I just can't see it in a minute. You're quite right there. Don't want to big money. Even Manchester City don't want to spend big money. Do you know what I mean? And Pep has got it absolutely right. You say he's not going to be spending big money. I mean, look at Haaland. What's he worth? 150 million, and he wants 300 grand a week. It's urgent. Wants something like about 25 million each for him, and his dad. Unbelievable. It's a joke. And he's crazy, man. I mean, is he worth 150 million? I'm not so sure, but he's a damn good player. But is he the world's best player? The world's best striker? No, for me, it's Mbappe and Lewandowski for me. Mile. Also, I'd rather have held on Ogden than Boosty Boy. And Billy May, thanks for letting us know, Billy. And James, this is a question for you. How do you Hammers fans view Pardew? Slightly different to us, I suspect.
He did get us to an FA Cup final, so I've got to give him his due there. He got in 06, he got us to an FA Cup final. He done all right, mate. I wouldn't say he was like amazing, but I'll just say just okay done. Like he got us to an FA Cup final, so that's something to be and let's be honest, we was 25 seconds away from winning it and all. So, but yeah, he done okay.
Sure. Well, he got us in 5th in the Premier League sort of thing. If we had Pappy season beginning of the season, not January, we would have been top 4. No question about that. That team we had Pappy Cisse, Johan Kabay, Musa Sissoko, Demba Ba. There were 4 fantastic players we had there at Newcastle. It really worked. We played some cracking stuff as well, by the way. Am I a Paul fan? Not really. But what he did that year, I think that's his best years, I think, as a Newcastle manager. Other than that, I think it's really poor. I got James Brown. I've got a feeling this stream's going to be good. And before I forget, I'm not living in America. Hey, I know. I mean, you got some cracking singles, James. Are you a James Brown fan? Do you like James Brown music, or are you a bit too young?
Yeah. I don't mind a bit of James Brown, mate. I mean, I'm more a bit of a '90s house and floor fillers. But do you know what I mean? Can't be a bit of James Brown. You can't be a bit of James Brown for the ladies. So yeah, you know what I mean. It's all good.
It's certainly a man's thing, eh? The single Papa's got a new bag or something. That's a cracking tune as well. That tune, one of the boxers came out, Luis Ortiz, they playing music for him in the background. He jumped over the ropes and that really fought Deontay Wilder, and that's a cracking fight. One that is brilliant fight there. I've got Billy again. Question for you: is Billy Bonds still involved with the club? He was a fantastic defender or player for literally decades for West Ham.
I think he's like an ambassador. I think he's like an ambassador. He's like up there. He's got a stand named after him. Yeah, he's a legend, mate. At West Ham, he's like, I think it's like 699 appearances or 799 appearances, something like that. And he's a legend, mate. Obviously, he was a bit before my time. My time was more sort of in the 90s, like seeing Di Canio and Defoe, Cole, Canute and things like that. So yeah, but he's a legend, mate, for us, 100%.
Tell you what, Billy Bonds, he's a good manager as well, man. He's a great manager. How much do you think Billy Bonds is worth today? I'll tell you something. If Billy Bonds was playing today, it'd be what, 50 million at least?
Yeah. He was just a solid defender, mate, and like even defensive midfielder, he could go in, like, do you know what I mean? He could play a lot of positions. He was just top draw. He was just top draw for us, and it proves it with the appearances, like, and all the times he was with us. So yeah,
top defender in his time, sort of thing, you know. Maybe Jamal Lascelles and Kieran Clark can learn a bit from him as well, sort of thing. You know, when we watch his videos and that, look how he defends properly, and he's class. I got Kevin again. He said, "Right, James, he can come to us, mate, and bring Mark Noble, Stuart Pearce with him. I would have took Noise, even though he's been a Mackham. Never got the chance of Man U. Sunderland, wrong choice."
Yeah.
At all whatsoever.
Yeah. I just, with Moyes, obviously, Mark Noble's last season with us, isn't it? Like next season, like he's announced his retirement, and he's been with us 18 years, and Moyes has been really, really good, like, for us. But obviously, you know what it's like. Like, some managers can have like what he's done, John, and what he has done very well is he's bought well. Like, the people he has bought, he's bought in, and they've all worked at the same time. Like, I think he's had a bit of luck in that. I think none of the signings that he's done have been bad signings, and he hasn't really had any injuries all season. It's just the injuries are starting to sort of mount up now. So he's had a lot of luck, but he's also earned his luck with the way he's been going out against teams. So he's been top draw.
Yeah. He's been top draw all season anyway. I think he's been fantastic. And you have beaten some good teams along the way. I've got give it again, Pardew. That suspension, they did a good job at Toon. Finished off a bit sour in the end, which I agree. And as you said, John, he brought some good players to us and played some good football. Billy Bond class.
Yeah. I can't say any more about Billy Bonds. He was just top draw.
Well out of words for him, man. Do you know what I mean? And like I said, he's here now. He'd be at least 50 million pounds. That player can defend absolutely properly. And I mean, like I said, sort of thing, like I'm on Newcastle as well. I mean, I think he said this question. How many Newcastle players do you think will come to West Ham? How many Newcastle players do you think will get in the West Ham team?
I'll tell you who I like. I'll tell you who I do like. I like St. Maximan. I think he's a top player. I think he's a really, really good player. I've always had a liking for Lascelles, the centre half. I think he's a good player. Obviously, Callum Wilson's really good. Love to score against us. So, yeah. And also the goalkeepers. I like Darlow. I like Carl Darlow's a good goalkeeper, and Debrecka. Like, they're both decent goalkeepers. Do you know what I mean? And especially for the league.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just thinking. I did like Lewis, but I don't think he's really done it for you this year, is he? The man from Norwich who you signed last summer. Is it Lewis?
Well, the Jamal Lewis I've seen it. No, the Jamal Lewis I've seen at Newcastle at the minute. It's just Steve Bruce. He's just so defensive. He must have told Jamal Lewis to go over the halfway line, and his confidence at the minute. He's not allowing Jamal Lewis to play his game. If he plays his own game like he did at Norwich, then I think he'd be absolutely decent. But he's not in the first team in a minute, which is a shame because I just think he looked a bit lost in a minute. And I just want big things from Jamal. Do you know what I mean? I'm praising him. I'm supporting him. Do you know what I mean? But it's down to Steve Bruce. But under Eddie Howe or a different attacking manager, I think he'd be absolutely decent. But is that
the man that you want though, John? Like, if you could pick a manager, would you go for Eddie Howe, or would you sort of look a bit more up, sort of thing? Like, would a Sean Dyche from Burnley suit Newcastle, like, and get him into that sort of top bracket?
Well, Eddie Howe plays open attacking football sort of thing. Will I take Eddie Howe? I would, yes. I mean, he's upgrading Steve Bruce without Charlotte. Dude, will he come to Newcastle? I don't know. But as for Sean Dyche, he still plays the long ball. Yeah, he's done a fantastic job at Burnley. I think he's done really well. It's been tough to beat. But at the end of the year, it's just still the long ball game. I think Sean Dyche will not take any crap from no one. And he will not take any crap from Ashley as well. Do you know what I mean? But I think Sean Dyche needs a new challenge. I think. Will it be for us? I don't know. But I think he'll stay at Burnley for one more season. And for me, Eddie Howe will just pick the right club. Crystal Palace could be have a job vacant if Roy Hodgson decides to go at the end of the season, retire. Right? But there are still jobs going to be available to him. But if it's going to be Eddie Howe, would I take him? I have a best of the bad punch. I'll take Eddie Howe because he plays the right way. He's modern. I mean, would you take Eddie Howe? Do you think he would?
I get what you're saying with the attacking football, because let's be honest, when he was at Bournemouth, they played an attacking way. I do get it. I think he's young enough. I think he's got the experience of being at Bournemouth now, and I think, I would. I think, but it's got to fit. You know what it's like, John. You've got to have a manager that fits the way that you want to play. If you're going to play an attacking football and all you've got is a defensive-minded team, it ain't going to work, is it? So, it's. I think it'll be a good fit. I think Palace. I think you're right about Palace. I think Roy Hodgson will stop being manager in the summer, and I think Newcastle. But the problem is I don't think the owners would sack Bruce. I think the only way Bruce goes if he walks, if that makes sense. Do you know what I mean? Like, and that's the problem.
You know what I mean? They have 3 chances to get rid of him. End of the season against after Liverpool, should have sacked him after Brentford, and Sheffield United should have sacked him when they had to go at Matt Ritchie. And Mike Ashley has done absolutely no to do this at all. He's backing the manager every single time. He's told the players, fix up, get your thing out, and start performing. Do you know what I mean? But the players, some of the players are not happy with Steve Bruce. I can tell you that now. He's had issues with Matt Ritchie, and Ritchie called him a coward. He had to go at the journalist up there, Craig Hope from Daily Mail. He basically come out and say that asked the question. Steve Bruce put his answer, it's true, and then he banned him for it. You cannot ban because he's not going to do himself any favours whatsoever. And Steve Bruce, he doesn't allow the journalist to finish the question. He interrupts when he asked the question. I think that's rude. You cannot do that.
Yeah.
Steve Bruce wants it
Yeah.
easy. He doesn't want tough questions. I'm sorry,
I
Steve, but it's a big club.
I just think he's privileged to be at Newcastle, mate. Like that's the way I look at it. I just don't like if you was to pick the 20 teams in the Premier League, like who would have him there? Like, do you know what I mean? And that is the problem when your manager like is sort of like I just don't see the fascination with Bruce, and I do understand the frustration because when you've got a manager there who's stubborn, which he is, if he and do you know this thing about when they say they're fans, like people say, oh yeah, I'm a fan of the club. If you're a fan of the club, like you're a fan of Newcastle, I'm a fan of West Ham, right? We're all fans, yeah. When you're managing a club and you're saying you're a fan, you have also got to stand back and go, am I doing the right thing for this club, or can I make this club go further on? And sometimes you just got to go, you know what, I roll my hands up and I say, you know what, I can't do it no more. I need to let someone else come in who's got better credentials and better, do you know what I mean? And might progress the club further on. So I think a bit of stubbornness comes into it and all, and it's a shame, really. It really is.
Totally agree. I mean, with Bruce, sort of, he just doesn't care about the fans. He just dismisses the fans. He doesn't care about the club. He just wants to come in and do the best he can. But you're right. If he puts his hand up and say, look, I can't take this club further anymore, I will whack away and go from there. But he won't do that because he's on what? I mean, if he gets sacked, he's waiting for £4 million payout. And I'm sorry, but for me, I just think he's got no goals at all whatsoever. He does not at all whatsoever. I got Billy here before Howell to us, but he won't move north. He got homesick at Burnley. Maybe he's a little bit young at the time, and that's all it is. But I mean, Mo Salah went to Chelsea, didn't settle. He went to Fiorentina, and then Roma, and then back in the Premier League of Liverpool. And look what he's done now. He's doing bits there. Not this season, hasn't, but I got Truls here. John, hope you are good. I'm absolutely fine. How it's not good enough in this opinion. Billy said, I like Frank Lampard with takeover, hungry with a point to prove, and has shown good signs as a manager. That's Frankie Lampard.
That's not a bad shout, you know.
Not a bad shout at all whatsoever, you know.
He's young. He will start off with young players, and he will. And what it is, he would have a plan. That's not a bad call, Frank Lampard. Really, if I'm honest.
Brilliant call there. Like I'd take Frank Lampard all day long. You know what I mean? I think he do fantastic in Newcastle. He's got a lovely wife, by the way. Good looking as well. I got Kevin again, a Drew Trolls. How nowhere to manager. Best a minute we could expect with someone like Neil Lennon. Thanks and low. Thank you very much. Steve Bruce is a Foonie fan. He's a Man United fan. I've got Trolls that agree, Kevin. I've got to contrast Bruce now with Kevin Keegan and England whacking away. Ruud Hullet and Kevin Keegan whacked away when the gun got tough. And I got Kevin, come on, if you're a Newcastle fan, and boy, you would have gone to Sunderland. Never seen any photos of Bruce in a Toonkin as a boy. I'll tell you a story, right? Steve Bruce, one day when he was at Sunderland, he was asked about managing Newcastle in the future. By the way, please smash the likes button and do subscribe to my channel if you are new. Consider it as well. Thanks very much. He said to the press, right, managing Newcastle United isn't a dream of his at all whatsoever. And this manager, not my manager, their manager, Sunderland, right? And, you know, he had 2.5 seasons there, he got sacked. And for me, he said, Newcastle isn't a dream. But as far as I know, as checked last time, he's our manager now. We haven't forgot that, mind. I don't know what you take on that.
Yes, that's terrible, mate. If I'm honest, John, I know I sort of keep going over it. I think he's looking at it that from an own personal point of view, sort of thing. Like Steve Bruce doesn't get another Premier League job anywhere else, if in my opinion. Like he don't go and manage Villa, he don't go and manage Leeds, he don't go and manage Wolves. Like he don't even go and manage Palace. Like he's been there already and nearly destroyed that club and all. So, I just look at it like. It's his last hurrah, but I think the problem with Bruce from an outside looking in is that he fits what the owners want and what Mike Ashley wants, and Mike Ashley's like, you know what, I've got a yes man here who's a prime yes man who's going to go do as he's told because I'm giving him a Premier League job. You see what I'm getting at? So it's terrible, mate.
Shocking.
Yeah.
I thought Steve Bruce wasn't a yes man, but now he's there. He's happy to do that to Steve Bruce. You know what I mean? I just thought the manager, when he was linked to Newcastle, I thought, please no, stay at Sheffield Wednesday, get them up, be a hero with them, get them up. But no, he decides to do these channels. He decided to leave Wednesday in a lurch and come to us. None of the fans want him at all whatsoever. Mike Ashley to the fans. Charlie doesn't listen to the fans. They don't give a flying toss. All they care about is their self. So it means personal between Ashley and the fans. So do not be surprised if Mike Ashley, if he keeps us up, offers Steve Bruce a new deal. According to Luke Edwards, I think it's Luke Edwards. Yeah, it is. He said that Steve Bruce could be in line in a new deal. If that is the case, then our club may as well just cease to assist.
Yeah,
and
I agree.
Shocking. I've got Bruce for Germany. Yeah, Yaslan German. By the way, I've got Jonathan. Hi, Johnny. Oh, yeah, I'm absolutely fine, my guy. And big up to you, my guy. Steve Bruce does get another job anywhere, like James been saying, but Sky, and amongst his mates and other managerial feel criticise better managers. I'll comment out in a minute, by the way. I've got Kevin again, good shot, John, Lisa Mackhams had Bruce and Saturn. When it's out the door, Steve Bruce might just get a job managing the co-op corner shop. For me, he'd be better off being manager of Greg's. So have his Biegen. I got choose again when Ashley says Ben over, Bruce Ben's over. I got Terry as well. Please subscribe to my channel. Terry, it's the first time you come on my channel. Please subscribe to us if you consider that. Thanks again. I've got hi guys, right? Take over. We are stuck with the buffoons and need to get rid of the lot of them. Totally agree. We need to get rid of them from the very top and Bruce, and we need a clear attack at the club. I've got Billy doing most West Ham manager. Yeah, I'm happy to be West Ham, so am I. They play the game right way since I watch football and great players and deserve a bit of success. That's a fantastic way, Billy.
Yeah, I must admit. But as a West Ham fan and a West Ham fan for a long time, it's hard. It's hard to accept that we are where we are because we're not supposed to be there. Do you know what I mean? So it's one of them ones where we're thinking, you know what, like it's all great, but we want to know now where we're going to end up, sort of thing, rather than go through these last 7 games of agony.
Yeah, man.
Do you know what I mean?
I do, man. I do. Oh, well said, man. I got nice one, John. Nice one, Johnny. Nice one, John. Yeah. I got Terry. Thanks for that, Terry. I much appreciate that, my guy. Thanks for subscribing to me channel. So and I got yours there. Good on you, West Ham. Yay. But you know what it is, but I just don't know what to say, man. But I still think we may just start up. I think 2 more wins would keep us up. I mean, you've got to play. You've got to play. Who's got to play? We've got to play Liverpool away, Arsenal home, Leicester away, Man City at home. And then away, and then we've got home Sheffield United away to Fulham. We have got some tough games, but we need to win 2 more games. If you win 2 more games, we'll be staying up because I cannot see Fulham making up 10 points.
Yeah,
this year.
Yeah, I agree.
And I got Trey here. Makes it even better. Sticking the fingers up at the so-called elite. That's
yeah. It does, mate. But do you know what it is? It's our running is quite nice. It's quite a nice running. Obviously, we've got to play Used Boys on Saturday. Then we've got Chelsea, and then our last sort of 5 games is like Burnley, Everton, Brighton, West Brom, Southampton. So it's a nice running, so to speak. But yeah, it's a big game. Like it's a big game for both teams. Like on Saturday, and if someone said to me right now, you get a point at Newcastle. Considering Newcastle drew against Spurs and beat Burnley away, I would take a draw right now because I know that the Chelsea game is bigger. Because if we take points off them, then we're sort of taking points of our rivals, so to speak. Do you know what I mean? So it's a big game on Saturday for both parties.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be. I think it's going to be one of these games when people's going to be scared of making a commitment to have a score. Do you know what I mean? Who's gonna be brave first? But for me, we've got I'll give it a right go. We've got good players there. We've got attacking players. We've got ASM there. You got Amir on there. You got Callum Wilson there. I'd love to see Joe Willock start as well. I'll drop John Joe right away. Bring in Joe Willock, have the energy in midfield. I know our midfield's going to be weak, but our midfield have to have energy. We're badly missing Isaac here in the middle. Do you know what I mean? Can make those tackles. Do you know what I mean? But my God, it's just badly missed. And if we can get Isaac Hayden fit just for that game, I think that'd be amazing. So I've got James here and Kevin here. James, what's your best away idea? And hey, just enjoy it. Why are you in the league? Obviously, he's fourth. At least you're not giving it Billy big bars like the Leeds fans. They can keep it. You deserve it.
Yeah. Obviously, Newcastle's a good away day. Right? It's a good night out up there and all that. But problem is, we just don't win there. We just don't win there. It's just that's the problem. But now we used to. I tell you, there's a few games really. Obviously, Tottenham to us is a good one, and look, obviously the London teams. We don't mind a bit of Man United away or Liverpool away. Yeah, there's a few. Newcastle's a good night out. Liverpool's a good night out, and for the London one, I'd say the Tottenham one is a good one. Like especially for a derby, and especially because it's Tottenham and all.
Man.
But do you know what I mean?
Yeah, man, that's what you need at the end of the day. I mean, look, you've done well against London clubs as well. I mean, you've given it a right go, and you went 3 up against Arsenal, and you just tossed that one away, didn't you? That's huge.
Yeah, it was terrible. See, there's 2 ways of looking at it, John. Right on this, we tossed away the win, but we earned 2 wins from experience in Leicester and Wolves. Like we went 3-0 up against Wolves, went 3-0 up against Leicester, and we learned from the Arsenal game, if that makes sense. Like I think if we would have won that game against Arsenal, it could have been another way round. So and we had to I'm not being funny, Arsenal were getting embarrassed and they had to react. Like they had to do something because they was getting shown up really in the first 32 minutes. But yeah, it was a game that we threw away, and I'll be honest, if we look back at it at the end of the season and we only miss out on a couple of points for Champions League, that will be the one where we go, if only.
If only. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I know what it is. I mean, end of the day, no matter what happens this season, you have a fantastic season. I think you've been amazing. But I was going to say, to you, do you listen to any of our West Ham channels? Do you like watching West Ham United, West Ham Fan TV? And
yeah, I'll go on there from time to time, John. And I've been going on there recently, and having a chat with the boys and all that. And I'll go on a few channels and all that, and express my views and West Ham and all that. Do you know what I mean? But I like to talk about all types of football. Like, do you know what I mean? I like to talk about from like Newcastle to Everton to West Ham, because as we all know, we can talk about our club till the cows come home, but sometimes it gets a bit frustrating, doesn't it?
It does. It does.
Yeah.
It does,
it gets
man.
a bit frustrating. The frustration is unreal sometimes, and you just got to go. You know what? Let's talk about Everton.
Yeah, man. I know what you mean, but I do love going on channels as well. You know what I mean? But the best fans for me is West Ham. You know, you got Nick there, he hosts it, and you got Dom as well, and you got Baz. Well, Baz is good. Baz, I like Baz, and Dom. I think Dom's a lot calmer now, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a lot calmer, mate. I've never met him. I spoke to a few people sort of from West Ham Fan TV and all that, but yeah, it's just a good season. And you know, like I put it, when there's a good season, people's attitudes change. They sort of more relaxed, and they're more sort of not expecting the worst. You know what I mean? And I'll be honest with you, mate. We're just on a bit of a wave at the minute, and we're just going with the flow of it. Like, if we don't get Champions League, it won't be the big be all and end all. It won't be like, oh no, but we can dream. Do you know what I mean? And for a team who only spent 6 million net spend in the summer, is like that says it all to me. Do you know what I mean?
It does. You're right. I mean, you could just say, look, you gave it a right go. You gave it a shot. Your shot wasn't good enough on the day. If you got the Europa League, that's a base for you. I think the Europa League will be a base for you, but Champions League, I hope you do it. How will you do? It's off you. man. I'd rather use these rather than the big guys all the time. I got Kevin again listening in here. What Shelby was saying on Talk Sport today, I've missed it. Missed it. Was in and on me van all day. I think, if remember this is right, he's basically said that our squad is better than the West Ham squad.
What do you think on that, John?
If you look at it on paper, sort of thing, like, you know, I mean, if you look at it, we're a decent manager. We have a good team, but this season the table doesn't lie because 3 wins in 23, we haven't been good enough. Simple as that.
Yeah,
West Ham has. But yeah, John Joe's a West Ham fan, I think, but you can't come out and see things like that. The West Ham players will be thinking, you know what, we're going to target him, you know.
Yeah, I know. Do you know what? That ain't a bad shout. You know, that's a great call. I think if anything, he's just put fuel to the fire for us to sort of go up there and give it a good go. And he shouldn't. I don't know why he does it. I really don't. He's a good player on his day sometimes, and he's just put pressure on Newcastle when they need. Like, if Newcastle get a point, I think you boys would admit that if you've got a point against us on current form, you'd be happy with that. Like, considering the way we've played, but to go and sort of put yourself under pressure because of like an interview on TalkSport is schoolboy, isn't it?
It's ridiculous. You can't go out and say that sort of, and he should have kept his mouth shut. And this is the thing. I want to see John Joe Shelby on one great performance, not one great performance in 10. And I think he's been poor. If I rated him, I'll give him a 2 out of 10 in my end of season player against Chicago to do that this season. And at the minute, he's getting a 2. If he's done keeping his mouth shut, I'll drop him a 0. Simple as that. And I'm not afraid to do that. I got Billy here, Man U at home too. Dominated in the first half. And I got Monkey qualified for Champions League, but go out before Christmas or guarantee UEFA final, but no guarantees of winning the thing. I got Kevin again. I hate Everton as much as a Mackham's horrible supporters. My last away game was a 2-2 draw with Goodison last year. 2 goals in injury time when Lejeune got those 2 injury goals. Now it's at Alaves. Steve Bruce again made a mistake and get him out on loan. Moore's good. Bruce extremely crap. I agree there. Billy, West Ham have had European success before. I remember them playing Anderlecht in the 76 Cup Winners' Cup, and they won it in 1965. And Kevin said, if that's what's been said, he wants his arse kicked, lads. I totally agree. I'll drop him anywhere. Whatever he said, he's been shocking all season. Kevin, I totally agree. He's been poor this season. Absolutely poor. And when he missed that open goal against Southampton, where he got us 4-1 up, that just sums up his season at the minute.
Yeah. He shouldn't be doing it to you, mate. He really shouldn't. Like, it's a big game for you. Like, how can I put it? It's a big game for us. Like, but like we know we're staying up, and we know that like we're going to do Premier League playing football next year. So we're just enjoying it. But to put you under pressure like that is like someone should put him aside and say, "What are you doing? Like, you're just gonna rile up the players to play even better."
Mad. And you've got Shelby's captain, and he bullies Willock, who has no passion or pride. I mean, I'll pick Joe Willock all day long. I think this guy's going to be doing it. I'll take him on the season long run in the summer if he stays up as well. No matter what, take him or not, I'll take him as a new signing as well, because I do like Joe Willock. Have you watched Joe Willock at all? Or?
Yeah, I like him, mate. I really do. And I've been saying that if he goes back to Arsenal next season, I'd have it at West Ham. I would. I think he's young, he's fresh, he's box to box, he knows where the goal is. He's a good player, really good player, and I'd love him at West Ham 100%.
I would as well, but Steve Bruce yet again is not picking him. He's picking the sphere vets. He's picking Shelby. He's picking Henrik. You know, he's picking the sphere vets. You know what I mean? But he's begging for the sack. I swear he's begging for the sack. His wrist's injured. He is injured, and he's out for a couple of weeks. And Antonio's out as well. Is Antonio out as well?
Yeah, Antonio's out, Cresswell's out, Rice is out. We've got a Bonner coming back, which is a plus for us. We need him back as soon as. And yeah, that's about it on the injury front, really. All the rest of the players are fit and we're raring to go.
Yeah. Obviously, you still got some good players there in a minute, like, you know, that. I've got Billy Game Moyes has got his team talk already because of Voldemort. Shelby, the man is as thick as a castle wall. Oh, Hadrian's Wall would have been better. To be honest with you, you know what I mean? But I totally agree, man. It's just already to go. That who's that left back you got? It's Misaku. I can't remember his name.
Mazuaku.
Yeah. He's a decent. He's good coming forward, you know, but he's not a good defender though.
Nah, John, I agree, mate. He's a good going forward, but that man can't defend. Like, he can't defend at all, and that's the one issue that I have with him. He's been with us 6 years, Mazuaku, and he hasn't really improved. Do you know what I mean? And when you look at Kafal, he's only been with us 9 months. It's night and day, mate. Really, he's like Kafal's like top class, and Mazuaku is just. Mazuaku's a winger. He's not really a left back. Well, he's definitely not a left back. He's sort of getting through it as being a left wing back. So yeah, he's okay. He's okay. Just
okay, but not an okay. Probably a 5 out of 10. You know what I mean? 5 or 6 out of 10. But it is what it is for that guy. So I think you've got to watch out for him. When he goes forward, I think I'll watch out for him as well, because I think this guy's going to be. I do like him. I think he's going to come good, but he needs to fix up ASAP. And is Ogbonna out? No, he's not. I think he's playing. And I've got Layla. Do you think Leicester will bottle top 4 again?
Yeah, 100%.
I think he will now. After what happened a couple of days ago, you know, a party sort of thing. But that's a daft thing to do. Why are you letting them out for a party, man?
I'll be honest with you, mate. I said it last week, John. Yeah, and I said that we have to beat Leicester. If Leicester beat us, they would have been 7 points clear of us, and we ain't getting third then. Like we just ain't getting. We ain't gonna. They've got to win. They've got to lose three in a row, and we've got to win 3 in a row to catch them, so to speak. So, yeah, I think they will fall apart, Leicester. I think the cup game. I think if they win the cup, the league goes out the question. And I think the FA Cup takes priority. And I think they're absolute shocking what them 3 lads done to that club, considering they've only got 6-7 games to go. Whether it is mad.
Yeah. Mad. One of the players, he's played for Newcastle, Oyotsu Perez, and he hardly played for Leicester, you know. That's why he took 30 £10 for him, you know what I mean? But I bet he wish he never left Newcastle, you know what I mean? Because on the Rafa Benitez, I thought he was mint. But honestly, would have been on Steve Bruce. I think Steve Bruce would have killed his career anyway. And we would have gone back to the order, Oyotsu Perez, I'm sure. And I've got Terry here. Shelby, a donkey should not be playing at the minute, because she's never been playing the season at all. I would have got rid of him in the summer. But he signed a 3-year deal on 70 grand a week. Unbelievable. I got Leicester, West Ham, midfield combined. He's got to be Declan Rice and Ndidi. Then again, you've got 2. You've got to play a 3. You have to play Souček there as well. So Souček, Ndidi, and Declan Rice, I guess. That's a tough one.
Yeah. Yeah, it is, mate.
Tielemans as well. You got Tielemans as well.
Yeah. Don't forget, we've got Lingard, so he'll have to go up front.
he has to play centre forward, you know. Love it, man. Yeah. And I've got Smith. I mean, you get people talking to other people on the chat sort of thing. I'm used to it now. And Leicester's got us yet. They were battered us. We're going to get absolutely battered against Leicester City. I can see that coming. Because they're going to go for it.
I don't know, mate. If they win the FA Cup semi-final against Southampton, I think they might start slipping away. And I'm really quite strong on that. I really do think they will start slipping. Because, let's be honest, they're 1 game away from a cup. And they've never won the FA Cup ever in their history. So I think they've been in it 4 times and they've lost every time. So, yeah, I can't see Leicester thinking about the Prem. Well, obviously, they would have won a Champions League, but they can't do everything. So,
yeah. Oh, this is a joke. This is a laugh. This Souček, because what's your shout on James? I think he's mentioned he's an Angster player. Ain't be tipped for a big move in summer. If so, 40 million plus. Stop for Jordan. You've got to be joking.
Nah, mate. We're all good. We're all good. We'll keep Stooch. Yeah, we'll keep at the club.
Yeah, for a long time. I think he loves London life anyway, so I don't think he'll be leaving London at the minute. So, and if he did leave London, if he went to like a top 4 club, will he be that same player? Will he be in the first team? That's another thing you got to look at as well. I don't think he will be in the top 4 yet.
Yeah.
Now, but Jules, we need to win to be safer, but it will be revealed on Saturday after our first game. So, I mean, we're not for an hour. We're just on an hour sort of thing. Going to wrap up in a minute, but the one that I've got to ask you as well, I want to ask you now for your match predictions and what do you think the score's going to be on Saturday after the game.
We just don't win at Newcastle, mate. If I'm honest, if I'm being like realistic, it's a one ground. We just don't win up there. Do you know what I mean? It's very rare we win up there. I think we need to score first in this game, John. If we're going to win this game, we need to score first. If Newcastle score first, then it might be tricky. I'm going to say we'll win 2-0, but it wouldn't surprise me if it's a draw. Like, I think the draw is. If I wasn't a West Ham fan and I was looking at this game, I think the draw's a better bet. I will back the boys and say a 2-0 win for us. But I think a draw up there. I think Newcastle have started to pick up a little bit recent, like the away win at Burnley and the home draw with Tottenham has boosted the confidence a bit. And I think if you do beat us on Saturday lunchtime, I think it makes you safe. And I really do believe that.
Totally agree. We're 6 points here to Fulham, and I can't see Fulham making up 9 points on us at this moment in time, unless they win another game and we lose another game. And so it's not the case. And what can I say about that? And I'm going to go for 2s each. And I can see Gross in that. I can say 2s each. I think we're going to have a right goal. And if we have a right goal, that's all I can ask for at this moment in time. But if we do score first, I hope we hold on. We scored 4 goals in the last 2 games. We picked up 4 points. The thing is, so, James, we've only won 3 games in 23. That's a sackable offence, my guy.
It is, mate. It is, and it's like not a lot of people would get away with that. Let's put it like that. And
No, West Ham United, or he'll be gone. But Ashley doesn't care about Newcastle. He just doesn't care at all. But I've got Kevin here. He's off to Arsenal. Suchek. But guys, we're 3 up after 30 minutes and eligible 3s each. Jules, great show. John, stay safe. And you too, my guy. And I'll be back on tomorrow. And Billy, Alex Boost commenting on Man U on Sky Sport News now speaks volumes. I wonder what he's been saying about Newcastle fans. I wonder. I hope people quiz him on that. I doubt they will. Because you know why? Because they're not allowed to. And then thinking about James, either a draw or Hammers win. Can't see us beating you boys at the minute. Not the way you at. And that's just about it. I said it's going to be 2s each. And the one question I've got to ask you, did you enjoy coming on, Monsieur?
Loved it, mate. I see the old tweet out earlier and someone sort of said that you was looking for someone to come on. Thoroughly enjoyed it, John. You've been a top man and top host. And I wish you all the best for the remainder of the season, mate.
Thank you very much indeed. I wish you all the best as well. And hopefully after 2:30, we get the 3 points. But after that, I really hope from all Newcastle, I hope you get the top 4, which you gravely deserve, because I think your fans deserve it. You got the stadium for it. You got the name for it. And you know what? I think the players you got deserves absolutely Champions League football, and I just hope we do it. But James, thank you very much for coming, my guy. Good luck for the rest of the season, and take it steady.
Take care, man.
You too, boss. Catch you later.